Hello class, so I'm going to discuss cutting your collage materials. The first step is to collect your collage materials. And then once you've done that, then you're going to be cutting them. Or alternatively, if you'd like, you could cut them as you go. But I'm going to show you two methods for cutting. So the first method is simply to cut along a form that you see in the image. So for example, I don't know what this is. I think it may be a snake, but it doesn't really look exactly like a snake. But nonetheless, you can go and cut around the form. And I would say cut against a piece of cardboard so you're not putting marks into a table. And voila, you have a form cut out. Okay. Now, alternatively, you could just cut out any shape you want. You could draw on here, some type of shape. I'll do a biomorphic shape. And then you cut that shape out. Voila. You got a shape that you can use in your collage. Okay? Okay, and last thing to remember is that you have two collages to make. So you're gonna wanna make sure you have two sets of collage materials. And I would say make sure you have more than enough. Like, don't just get enough for the collage, get more so that you can pick and choose the elements that work best for your collage. So I want to discuss with you how to do the thumbnails for the collage project. And the thumbnail process is going to be a little bit different since we are working with collage. And as I said before, if you remember and kind of visualize, you're going to be making two collages. And since you have to do 8+ thumbnails, I would say make 4 to 5 thumbnails for your first collage and then 4 to 5 thumbnails for your second collage. And to get set up for this, I would draw your thumbnail boxes out at 3 inches by 4 inches on a sheet of paper. And here's my first 4. And then what you could do is get another piece of printer paper, and you're gonna draw on here a 7.5 by 10 inch format. And this is basically just gonna be used to try out possible arrangements for your collage. Our overall goal of this project is to create a unified composition to make it look like the elements belong together. Variety is also something we want to consider, and you should be getting a good amount of variety since you're using collage and it's coming from so many different places. Now, so this is the way this is going to work. So you have your 7.5 by 10 inch format, and this is going to be used to test out possible compositions. When you place your collage elements on here, to try out different compositions, don't glue them down. Okay, you're not gluing them yet. You're not gonna ever glue it onto this paper. This paper is simply to test out compositions and to make thumbnails. And I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so you have your composition, you have your collage elements, and just begin to, try out different arrangements, okay? And when you're trying out your different arrangements, consider the 3 methods we discussed to create unity: continuation, repetition, and proximity. So by placing things close together, you can help to create unity. Of course, this is somewhat of a dual composition. Okay, so and I arrange this, let me see. And feel free to put things off the format. You could always cut them later. I wouldn't consider cutting them yet, but you could always do it later. Okay, so here's one possible arrangement that I made, and I'm creating unity one through repetition of color. There's a lot of greens across here. The repetition of shape. Okay, these are all biomorphic shapes, and also through a little bit of continuation. Okay, you know, some of these lines start to go into each other, or edges from one shape go into another shape. That being said, you know, perhaps I could bring more variety into it to make it a little bit more interesting. So when I go and so now I'm gonna draw a thumbnail. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. Okay, and when you draw your thumbnail, consider what aspects you want it to be painted, what aspects that you can maybe delete, what aspects you could add. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing when you draw the thumbnail. You know, consider painted elements, consider things that could be possibly taken out, and such. Okay, so I'm considering drawing another, painting a shape on here. And then you're going to color it in, okay? And you don't need to make a detailed rendering, but just something simple so that you could get an idea of what it'll look like. This one I'm experimenting with painting the space in between blue. Okay, so this is thumbnail number 1. And maybe in the next thumbnail I'll try something out different. So maybe I could bring the snake in. Experiment a little bit more with overlap. And everything we've learned already will continue to be used in this project. So negative space is something you're going to want to consider. Okay, the spaces that are created between the shapes. Color, line, shape, value. These are all elements that are all being used in this project as we try to create unity. And really just play. And this type of thing you got to play. Experiment, try different things out. It may or may not work. Okay, so here's another possibility. So once you're done arranging your collage materials on the playing field, making a thumbnail sketch from it, then you're going to get something, you're going to take a picture of it, okay? And you know, my phone's currently recording this video, so I made a phone, and I'm going to use this phone to take a photo. Make sure you're right over it. Don't be like this, okay? Right over it. And I take a photo of this, okay? So you got the thumbnail of it, you got a photo of it, you're good to go. And then I could try to arrange this in a different way, okay? For a couple more thumbnail sketches, okay? And that's how you do your thumbnails.